Yo, what is up, folks? MTG here with Insidious Roots Dredge. Dredge, one of my favorite decks in the kind of Explorer Pioneer formats, and kind of in the other ones as well. But Insidious Roots is a really, really powerful card from Mother's Call of Mana to take advantage of. It's a black-green enchantment. It says creature tokens you control have tap, add, or mana of any color. That's neat, but not really what we're using it for here. Whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create an 0/1 plant creature token, then put a +1/+1 counter on each plant you control. So every time something leaves your graveyard, you get a plant and make all your plants bigger. We then have a pretty nifty black-green Dredge shell. We also have another new card here, wrapup Maverick, which is, hey, an enabler. So as the battlefield, you get to Surveil too. Surveil obviously a bit better than the mill you get here with Citrus Supplier. It's obviously less cards, but lets you kind of like, oh, okay, I want to keep this Christy Salvage on top of the Souls of the Lost or whatever. It also exiles from your graveyards, but plus some counter on target creature. That's it as a sorcery. But this is kind of our first point of, hey, we're going to exile this from our graveyard, put a counter on it. It triggers us Insidious Roots. There are a bunch of cards like this. Obviously, trying to mill through our deck, try to hit things like Narcomoeba, Priced Amalgam, Silver Smoke Ghoul. We've got Creeping Chill here. These creatures all come out of our graveyard, as does Haunted Dead, which is, hey, 2 copies here, just get rid of them. Get rid of anything dead in your hand. We obviously can cast Priced Amalgam, Narcomoeba, but generally, if we could dump it into our graveyard, we would like to do that. And you have the Haunted Dead. I'm going to discard my Priced Amalgams to this, bring it back, get everything back. All that while we're Insidious Rooting. So it's a pretty powerful engine card for us to try out here. They're kind of built around it. So our enablers, we have our 4 copies of Stitcher Supplier. We've got our 4 copies of Probably Maverick. We have 4 copies of City Wayfinder and 4 copies of Gristly Salvage, just kind of the most cards, the most mana. Neat. Our big payoffs. Price Amalgam comes back if you return a creature from your graveyard. Silver Smoke Ghoul comes back if you gain 3 more life. Creeping Chill deals 3, you gain 3, triggering Price Silver Smoke Ghoul when you mill through it. And these are the main payoffs. And we also have Souls of the Lost here, which is power and toughness equal to the number of permanent cards in your graveyard +1. So super, super big. And also, as an additional cost to cast, you can discard a card or sacrifice a permanent. So either discarding something like a Prized Amalgam or Silver Smoke Ghoul that's got stuck in your hand, or sacrificing something like a Stitcher Supplier so you get the back half of it as well. You get the dice trigger, which is super, super handy. As well as being a huge threat that can clock your opponent very quickly too. So it's been an amazing addition to the deck from Lost Cannons. And it means that, okay, this being in this island means that the playing like a black green build where we're not able to necessarily cast the blue cards is totally fine. It means we're less reliant on Haunted Dead. Haunted Dead here though, being a great way to trigger Insidious Roots. We're still here, we're still in here. Let's just be a little bit more consistent. And yeah, we're playing 18 lands. We've got one of each utility land here, Takenuma and Beseiji. If you're playing best of 3, I will be taking this deck into the best of 1 rank games. If you play best of 3, you probably want another Beseiji on the board, so you want to deal with things like Rest in Peace, other Graveyard Hate. Takenuma obviously synergizes really well, you're milling cards, but then you get to return maybe an Enabler from your hand. 4 mana is a lot, but like, hey, it's vaguely free. And then we have 12 Black Green dual lands, 4 Blooming Marsh, 4 Dark Pathway, 4 Open Your Own Tomb, and then 4 Mana Confluence, which lets us cast the blue spells if need be. It can be a little painful. You've obviously got life gain in the form of like Creeping Chill, but one to kind of like keep an eye on, I think. Yeah, this is the shell. It has come to my attention that we can play Gigantha, and so I'm actually going to put Gigantha in the sideboard before we play the matches. Yeah, I guess it's free. And sometimes you want extra cost of this card, so hey, it's not totally dead either. But hey, I think it's a pretty minor upgrade. But super, super sweet new Dredge shell. Pretty awesome card to try out. We're going to try and make a bunch of plans, make them huge, and it's just like a bunch of resiliency versus some of the more controlling decks in the format where they'll be able to sweep you out and deal with you that way. So, let's take it into some ranked matches. Alright, into our first match here. We have a 1-lander, no 1-mana enabler either. It's a pretty easy mulligan. Into interesting hand, we get to put one of these things on the bottom. Having the Haunted Dead is neat. We've got souls to discard it as well. We can kind of build our own engine here. So I think I'm just going to put the Creeping Chill back on the bottom. That makes sense. Yeah. We can use everything else. Go ahead and leave it on the green team just in case we draw a land and we want to use this, and then we'll mark a Maverick up. Oh, nice. And I'll keep land on top. So we're not in desperate need for it, to be honest. Maybe that should have just gone in the bin. Making sure that we have the third line is nice. So we have a pretty reasonable curve of things we want to be doing here. So go ahead and put some black. We want to go combat. And then we're going to Soul to the Lost, discarding the Haunted Dead. Alright. I want to be a little bit careful not to shrink the Soul of the Lost too much. I'm curious, a fairly reasonable curve from the ramp deck here. Then they have another 1-drop. They do have another elf. That gives them access to 6, potentially mana next turn if they have a land with Cura. Maybe Drew Blooming Marsh. I don't know if I want to play that yet. Go ahead and attack here. I'm going to hold the land there just because we might want to activate Window later. I'm just going to set a stop on their second end step. On the end of the second main phase. So that we can do this and get the prize Smuggler's back on their end step. Let's see how it works out. Okay, I have a Nykthos, so more mana than, well, potentially more mana. Got only for 2 here. Alright, Haven. Yup. Want to activate Nykthos. Have Nykthos. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go. Untap. The 7 mana? I think that's maths. They also not play a land. Interesting. Pack leader. Pack leader. Oh, maybe they've gone pretty unfortunate with that hand then. Huh. Alright, well, let's go next game. We were gonna bring Prize Malcolm instead. Okay, so we're technically 1-0, but not really. Yeah, it looks like our opponent just kind of had a really bad hand there and just wasn't up for playing the rest of the set. Yeah. We had or dead, double Prize Malcolm coming back. This is a pretty great hand. We have Creeping Chill, which is, hey, awkward. But we have 1, 2, 3 enablers here. Ooh, this looks to be blue, red, and soul, I guess. Starting with Siren. Okay, now stop drawing up. Stop drawing cards that we need. I'm just Stitches Apply, try and get maximum things done here. Oh, we milled through Insidious Roots. But you get an Archiva back, which is, annoying for the Siren, at least. Checkmate. Copter. Yeah, this thing's got quite. Can we stop drawing? Oh, regrets. If we played the Maverick first, we'd have been able to draw the Insidious Roots this time, which would have been handy. But, alas, here we are. We want to mill and then surveil. You can't get too. You just can't get unhappy complaining out of variance in this deck. You're playing Dredge, you're milling cards. You're gonna. Sometimes it goes well. Sometimes it's not gonna go too well. Double Prize Mag in the graveyard is kind of neat. I'd like to find a discard outlet. It's either been this Horde Dead, or put a Horde Dead to our graveyard, or find another Archimedes. Any of those things. Be solid. Fristy Salvage on top. Yeah. Alright, well. Hey. We don't have a lot going right now. We're not going to attack. I can just be crew blocking it to loot, and that's pretty miserable. Okay. Should have attacked with the Stitch Supply. But still, kind of giving them some selection is a little tough. But we're going to struggle to catch these in actually, otherwise. I'm going to attack in the air. Go ahead and take the 3. The one where this can become more dangerous later with something like an insult or something, and we want the flying blocker to be able to do more, but yeah. Obs is so good. Finally having this on Arena means that the Explorer format has been legitimized. It is basically Pioneer. There are some slight differences. That is still true, but hey. Make do with what you've got. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and main phase this. Okay, one important thing, while Prized Amalgam triggers on both players' turns, Silver Smoke will only triggers on your end step, so when you're milling cards with something like Risky Salvage, even though it's an instant, if there's not a great reason you want to cast it on your turn, the Souls of Lost is good, but I might be a little slow here. Jeez. Yeah. The way that we've drawn these, well, yeah, we started with one of them. But yeah, so what we've drawn versus what we've gone through is looking a little unfortunate right now. If these are attacking, this may as well get in there. They all do things in the graveyard, or should get to go to graveyard. Yeah, I did 2 cards. I've got 2 Copters. I'm kind of okay with this. Smuggler's Copter, Smuggler's Copter. Alright. Let's see what's up. Okay, so this Golgari Glyph. To be fair, we're not exactly removing it, are we? But we have plenty of ground blockers. If they were putting this on something, it'd have to be like a Copter anyway. But being able to animate this and not have to... Oh, okay, they just have a bunch. Never mind, ignore me. But yeah, so like now we have to block 5 damage instead of 3, so I'm probably going to chuck the Narcomoeba under the bus here. If they want to crew up with the... Interesting. Are we holding the Siren back to block? I guess they don't... Maybe they want to use the mana? They do have a map, don't they? Let's see. You have to worry about things like Shrapnel Blast as well, so like, actually, should probably just block the 5 here. Ooh. Never mind. Gotta torch the tower. Okay. Right. Discarding Haunted Dead Souls of Lost is too slow. We're on 6. I think we need to like hit some stuff. So, I don't see the other creeping chills. Whether I play this and sacrifice a Stitch as a player, or I play this and gonna have mana, right? Discard Haunted Dead. Unfortunately, because I've only got 3 lands, I can't do this and then Haunted Dead. Anyway, we're gonna sacrifice a Stitch Supply. If we get there. Right here, Narcomoeba good. Okay, cool. I could exile to put a counter here, but we're not gonna do that. We get these back. It means we're actually threatening a relatively lethal attack back, but still away. Really drew though. They can't quite animate the land right now. Decent. In crew here, attack. We have 1 blocker. If they ever real self then Narcomoeba, we are dead. But hey. As it is, we like get to block this. Take 1, 2. Well, actually, that's implying they can crew this without tapping one of these. Alright, they're crypt the side, that's sensible. They're gonna pay into the ginger brute. That makes sense, right? Alright. Brute has been paid for. Haste or a wall, right? I don't know, it's alright, they get to loot too. So you want to avoid them hitting a removal spell for the Narcomoeba or a Shrapnel Blast for our face. It looks like they might have hit one of those. They are thinking about the card in their hand. We are getting Shrapnel Blasted. This deck is really, really sweet. Like, I've posted like 2 Is It deck is like in a row, and so it was like holding off. But I will be doing a video on this at some point soon. All right, well we take our first loss. Okay, so we're 1-1, but really 0-1. I think the way our draws worked out versus what we put into our graveyard was pretty unfortunate for us. So, you know, we live with those. We have Insidious Roots on 2 here. I'm just thinking how we best want to set this up. I think we want it's just Supplier and play. So we can just go ahead and sacrifice that to Souls of the Lost in a bit. But either way, I think here is... You can make a justification for, I think, either of these. Playing the Maverick, you get to save on mana, kind of sculpt your hand a little bit more with the Surveil. Ooh, Haunted Dead is big. We are pod racing, and the Narco people draw not even that bad because we can actually just, you know, just the Hornet. I think we just make roots here. Oh, hang on, we actually took a calculation. So Karuga implies Quintorius combo, and so is Souls the Lost here going to be faster than going Insidious Roots? And the answer is maybe. Forcing them to put something into play is big. Either thing's gonna get. They usually need to be fast here. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do this, sacrificing the supplier. Kind of a leyline binding check. We can also hit stuff here off of the. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Off the Citrus Supplier, we hit Silver Smoke Ghoul with the Creeping Chill, which means it comes back straight away. And so this is the fastest we could be, pretty much. The question is, do they have a leyline binding for Souls of the Lost? If they do, okay, fine, we can carry on playing our game. If they do not, this is brilliant. So now we can go Insidious Roots plus the Robot Maverick and then Haunted Dead next turn before they're going to get a chance to do any of their combo stuff. So let's play this first. Second Insidious Roots plus. If we had the land already, so do something. I think these are both going in our graveyard. We want to get closer to payoff cards. And these both power up the Soul of the Lost. So here is next turn lethal. Alright. Well, that was super fast too. Well, I'll see you in the next one. Always feels pretty good being Quintorius. Okay, we've again Poison on good Alchemy, but double Stitches Supply plus Insidious Roots. I think we should still keep this. Treatment Officer. Alright, really. Oh, please stop drawing Alchemy, please. Please. Okay. See. Thalia means the Insidious Roots get slowed down a decent amount. We actually get to play both supply. So again, because supply, we don't get to mess around with these cards. We want to play it before the Maverick. Sequence wise, we milled through Soul of the Lost here. We could put a counter on one of these. I'm gonna do this. I want to find a land so we can get the Insidious Roots in play. These are all lands. This one casts blue cards. Does the one life matter here? We don't have a way to get these into. Yeah, I think we actually want to do this. Kind of take the L on Mana Confluence. It's an interesting one because we've left something on top. Are they going to want to attack into our creatures? I think we just no blocks the Thalia. I do want to draw this land. I think once we've got the Insidious Roots in play, there's not tons they can kind of interfere. Alright, let's see what goes on. And now we're worried about things like Brave the Elements where they can get protection. We at least have like 2 colors of creatures, but I'm gonna be a little careful. Alright, Initiate. Oh, that does get to kill Insidious Roots potentially. I'd like to avoid that. Alright, we have enough stuff going on. I'm gonna chuck these under the bus. And we're gonna play the What Happens Now game. We're gonna get to mill 6. Come on. Let's go. Okay. That's unfortunate, really. Well, not really. Well, okay. I can't really complain. But drawing the milling through the Silver Smoke Ghoul with Creeping Chill on their turn is a little sad. Okay, so you've got Citrus. Let's lead a supplier. Alright, so we're gonna get the Silver Smoke Ghoul back. No problem. We can actually trigger this twice. Go ahead and do that. I'll put a counter here. I think I actually put a counter on each, even though we want to get the Citrus Supplier in the graveyard. Just so they can potentially both trade with hopefully the shit. They're going to kind of be forced to try and get counters and try and trade. I don't know if you've got time to blow up the Insidious Roots, but yeah, okay. The way this is going, I'm going to very quickly take over the game with these plant tokens. They're also kind of like soft locked out of double white right now with a double mute vault start. So, hey. From our side, we don't have anything left to do on our graveyard really at the moment, but they're kind of forced to take some action. Alright, they are attacking with stuff. We should make some blocks. What is it likely they have? Okay, a Ganjo? How do you play around a Ganjo? Thought is these both want to go to our graveyard anyway. Let's beat this up. And these I'm happy kind of chucking under, right? I'm not that unhappy with the Starly being in play, to be honest. These will do things that we're kind of pretty happy with. Alright, they have Brave. Oh, maybe should have the trigger around the round we blocked the things, but actually don't get to kill very much. Oh, okay. Boy, that is a little lights out, maybe. See what goes on here. We've got a lot going on. No market. We could go on the offensive a little bit here. One thing to be careful of is if you have plant tokens in play that are not summoning sick, and then you then go and do like, and then you want to use a mana confluence, it will tap these first. There are 14. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I was gonna wait till that stuff. Let's just do this now. Because then that will trigger this, but cancel all these, and that's lethal. Alright. We are 3-1, but kind of like 2-1 because of that one game where our opponent did anything. So this is a pretty easy mulligan. This is not what you want to see. But on we have Grizzly Salvage, so I want to enabler. Guys, it's better going to 5. We have one thing to do. If we can find a way to get one of these, well, this into the graveyard, this hand becomes pretty nuts. In Grizzly Salvage, it means if we hit like either like another enabler, some other stuff to do, or like either a Soul of the Lost, the Discard Outlet, we're pretty solid. I'm gonna risk keeping this. I'm gonna put the Creeping Chill on the bottom. We're on the draw too, like that is a Golgari option. Okay. Not a Yorion here, so this could be either something like okay, it is blue-white. Cool. Blue-white, but like very much 60 cards. I'll play the Mana Confluence here. Not worried about life total. No need to let them use their mana on that turn. No more lies, hey, let's sweeten this matchup. I'm gonna say Resolve. Interesting. So yeah, notice I don't want to put Haunted in our hand, obviously. We got that in the graveyard, but say we find it's a hand, we have lands already, yeah. Very solid. Alright, this is kind of how we drew it up, and now we have to kind of make a decision on how we want to play this out. I think we just want to make a stop on their end step. Do that. So, 8 power over other stuff. This is going to let them... So the question is, do you just got Haunted Dead through this Haunted Dead or not? I think the answer right now is probably yes. It feels a bit weird. Because this seems would definitely, like, we want to play out. We want to get the most out of it. This means we'll be able to do it again next time. Okay, they drew the discontinuity the turn after? You're kidding me. Alright, well. Fine. That is what it is. Now that we've got President Malcolm, not very good. We have these two here with the Haunted Deads. We can say those for later, kind of in a way. I would like to salvage Just because that gives us an extra chance at hitting a land, whereas say if we finally looks at top 4. We do hit here, okay. That marker will trigger the price of items in our graveyard. And now we will do this, and we will hold up when we're dead. Alright. They're stuck on... Oh, this is still such a weird start. Yeah, they definitely just topped out the discontinuity, because otherwise they'd be so much further ahead. Otherwise. Alright, 4 lands, like they can cast Verdict here. But I think probably pretty aware of the situation they're in. Spooky. We want to activate this now. We will pay some life. This time we will drop both price of items into the graveyard. Very unlikely they have a way to exile them. Now there are some Pioneer, Explorer, Blue-White decks that play Hallow Moonlight. That's something to look out for. It's probably not very popular. I'm not even sure the card's actually on Arena. But at least if you try to do that in Pioneer, something to watch out for. And it should be in the format at some point if it's not already. I actually can't remember off the top of my head. Alright. Odds on Settle the Wreckage. There's some cards that you're just like, no shot, right? I'm holding this back to play around it. It's just like half-assing it a little bit, but that's fine. This I'm happier enough with. I'm like, okay, sure. Wandering Emperor, reasonable. Oh yeah. I shouldn't be expecting them to play out Settle the Wreckage in like 60 cards. I think that's okay though. I feel like we can afford to play around it. Wanted Dead here. We do City Wayfinder, hold up Wanted Dead here. Okay. $15. I think if we are getting verdicted, we're still gonna because we can't play the land and place it supply and activate hold it. We don't have enough cards in hand. But we can do 2 of those things. Well, 1 of those things. Alright, farmland. In your reserve, draw a card if your life total is greater than your starting life total, otherwise you gain 2 life. Oop. I don't know if that stop will work actually. Go ahead and do this. I'll hold on to the Citrus Supply.
Remember your training.
We're on 17. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17. That maths? That is math. Ow. Alright. You play 1 more match? That way we've got 5 plus the kind of non-game at the start. Alright, this will be the last match. I try and play sets of 5. I guess this one's actually technically a 6 because we've got the non-game at the start. We are on the play with Insidious Roots and Insidious Roots Grizzly Salve. This could be super sick, but our opponent could be playing aggro. I think for the sake of playing more with Insidious Roots, we will keep this. We've not really got to mess around with it a ton. That was the one, the game versus 101, it absolutely just took over and won the game for us, which is really cool. But, yeah. Please, no time on suspect. That is a plains. Can deal with that. I think I'm going to lead Insidious Roots. If I want to solve the lost, discard Haunted Dead. I'm just going to cast this. I don't know if this is better than just going Grizzly Salvage. And if we're going Grizzly Salvage, then this is the better thing to have in play. Angels. Okay, with the prized amalgam, now I'm like, alright, let's cast this. Discard Haunted Dead. We might be a little slow here, to be honest. Also possible we died at Angels. But, there that goes. See what they got. The plans at least give us a way to put a large amount of power on the board. They're going to exile the enchantment or they're going to exile the... Okay. Boo. Alright, I don't think it makes sense to play the other Insidious Roots here. You're to block. You're not to block. I'll do this now. Ow. Not that much more damage. There's 2 damage temporarily, and then we get the price market back. Now, they can have company and all sorts of nonsense. They didn't play one of the really big like payoffs. They did the Bishop or Righteous Archangel on turn 3. Which is, you know, good for us. We're on 11. Means we can actually get beat down pretty quickly. Elf. Okay. There's the Valkyrie. Okay. This card. Pretty potent. What's the deal here? Give me a 3/5 as a tilter. Attack with these. Alright. This gets ugly pretty quickly. Yeah. Around 8. I'm gonna play this just to like going to 9 is tough, but it stops some potential stuff. And we could also flip triple creeping chill. That would be sick, but we've not done that. I guess that is also a chance of lethal. They're at 5. Okay, this is gonna gain them what's this is equal to its toughness. Okay, not the worst. And they've got 3 more mana with a guider. 4 more mana. They can't company though. Okay, another Overseer will gain them another 8. 14. And a Mystic. And we have an Angel in the Sky that we should block. Yeah. If we Highland now, then we okay. 12, 10. Oh, they don't make reach blockers and these things attack us in the air. We just dead to this. What's the deal with that? We can bring back a Haunted Dead at the price of some life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 14. No, yeah. 1, 2, 11, 14 currently. If we block the biggest thing, which is 5, we'd be taking 9, which is like 3 damage. Because we can Haunted Dead, but we can't Haunted Dead plus Insidious Roots. Let's attack, see what they do. Go like this. See about forcing some blocks. Okay. We're gonna get a 2/2 back on the ground. That means we don't have to worry too much about ground blockers. These get eaten. Yeah. Okay, so then we got an elf. Income 3 plus 5, 9. Oh, they've got so much mana as well. New Angel. Can they get above the threshold for Valkyrie? No, I don't think so. If this got a bit out of hand. If they didn't have the Insidious Roots, I think we'd been able to scale everything up enough with plants to get ahead. But they were able to answer it early with the special with the Skyclave apparition. Oh gosh. Top 7, 2 cards of CM6 real less. They might actually, if they hit like double Valkyrie or like Bishop Valkyrie, something like that. Something like this, where they're going to get to gain. Okay, because this actually gains them 7 life. And this gains them 9. But it's actually like, yeah, I'm just trying to let these abilities resolve. We are dead. Alright. I'll see you in the wrap up. Alright, here are the post game wrap up. This deck is super sweet. Insidious Roots, the matches where we got to like resolve it, have it in play, was super impressive. In that Angels game, if they didn't have the Skyclave apparition, I think we'd have been able to get enough tokens to generate enough power to actually crush them before all the angels came down and took over. But hey, that matchup has always been rough for Dredge. Everything else looked like pretty good. I've been very happy with how the decks performed. There's some cards like, hey, what about Mavericks? Like, Spell 2 is, I think, it being like the enablers, like 13 to 16, there are some other options, I guess, but with the upside of also being able to activate Insidious Roots, there's also a time when I was playing a Willowgeist version of the deck. Right, let me just pull that up. But ended up kind of cutting it for space reasons, just because I thought I'd build more about Insidious Roots. This card's really, really sick. Whenever one more card's leave your graveyard, you put a counter on it. Comes down on 1. It does enable your opponent's early removal, which kind of the deck just kind of isn't immune to, but it's just very much like kind of ignores because everything's coming back from the graveyard anyway. And kind of like having the turn 1 enablers turn 2 enabler starts are kind of their best starts. And so I ended up cutting it for space reasons. Being able to play like 4s of Silvermint Ghoul, I still have some Haunted Deads, which is still really, really solid. It was like very, very good in the games we played as well. Nice, and trying to like doing all this stuff while kind of fitting in the 4 Insidious Roots, really solid. I did play 4 here in what I might do if I was going to take outside of kind of like playing this for like a video, I might play 3 here, and then I was playing best of 3. I would put 3 in the main and 1 on the board. Just the matchups where it's really, really good. This is like control decks where it's kind of you're going to go grindy and take over. It's a funny one because versus angels, you actually need this to like just generate a bunch of power and just try and flip flop as many triggers to just power up a bunch of plants. But hey, it is like playing it on turn 2 itself is kind of slow. And so, hey, kind of how it goes sometimes. The rest of the deck really, really solid. I'm still super impressed by Souls of the Lost. Price of Aggro is still nuts. And the fact that you get to play this in best of 1 on Arena and kind of avoid a lot of the graveyard hate that kind of you would run into with that Dredge normally has some issues with, is definitely one thing. You can absolutely play this in best of 3. There are some sideboard cards you can play. I talked about Beseiju. The main things you want to answer are things like Rest in Peace. You maybe need to have a decent read on what your opponent's going to have as graveyard hate, whether they're going to have creature-based stuff like damaging use, whether they're going to have artifacts-based stuff, which, hey, like, Beseiju has a nice one to be able to hit things like Reckoner Bankbuster. Not Reckoner Bankbuster. What's the... It hits Unlicensed Husk and, like, Rest in Peace and some other bits and pieces like that. There's some cards like that. With a Bloom Command, you might think, like, why are you not playing this in the main deck? The answer to that is it's just not that good of an enabler. It's only 3 cards. For 2 mana, which isn't a great rate, even though it does some awesome stuff. You would definitely want them in your sideboard if you're playing best of 3. But yeah, deck is really, really sweet. I'm still like in love with Dredge in the format, and I'll continue trying to find new and interesting builds and trying to find things to make it work. And so yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do like, subscribe, please do share the video around. That would be amazing. And yeah, bunch of stuff coming your way. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Peace out.